Hello everyone, and welcome back to JB's Total Gaming, where today I'm going to be talking about Warhammer. Now, I haven't actually played Warhammer, so I apologize to any big fans if I mess up any terminology or whatever, but it's something that's always interested me, and on this station we talk about video games, board games, card games, and tabletop games on occasion, and Warhammer has always interested me. As a video game player, I have heard about some Warhammer games, and a lot of them not being very good. There are a few exceptions that I've heard that are good, but it seems like the license gets out to a lot of different companies, and there's some kind of poor cash-in games out there. However, we're going to be covering some different games that came out at the end of last year, have come out so far this year, or coming out either very soon or at least have been announced when we're speaking about one game. Everything else either is out or will be out very soon. And the first game I want to talk about is Mordheim, City of the Damned. So several of these games are based around some of Games Workshop's smaller intellectual properties that haven't seen much love, that came out and then didn't get a lot of support. And Mordheim is one of them. It is a tactical RPG where you play as, I believe, one of 4 different factions collecting Weirdstone, I believe. It is a pretty difficult game, and right now on Steam it has pretty mixed reviews. Now, what I have seen, though, at least recently, but mostly positive overall, the game does seem a little bit clunky. It is a little bit smaller of a team. It is a $40 game, not a $60 game. It is a little bit of an indie game, but what I've seen of it makes it look pretty interesting. A turn-based tactical game, and if that setting interests you, or that type of gameplay interests you, and you're a Warhammer fan, it might be worth checking out. The next game I want to talk about is Warhammer End Times Vermintide. Now, this is a first-person shooter, but there is also quite a bit of melee in this game. There are different classes you can play. They tend to have multiple weapons. Like you see, this class, for example, here, has a pistol and a sword they can use, and it obviously set in the kind of Vermintide era where, you know, the Skaven are basically just running over everything. Now, this is a game that is designed around multiplayer gaming. If you're familiar with Left 4 Dead and that sort of thing, where you go in with up to 4 people, you can have AI bots if you don't have a full team, and you try to complete objectives together as a team while hordes and hordes of enemies come after you, whereas in here they are Skaven rather than zombies. This has pretty positive reviews overall. I have heard some people in particular not liking the loot system and the progression system in the game, and saying that it is a little bit random or whatnot. But overall, the game seems to have received quite a bit of praise, and if you're interested in a game that provides you, you know, a definitely unique setting for a first-person shooter and that team-based gameplay, then this is a game that might interest you. It is right now available on Steam for $30. Alright, the next game I want to talk about is the one that I can actually show, Battlefleet Gothic Armada. So this is also based on a tabletop game where, well, you fight as big ships trying to blow each other up. So here we have a mission that we have to try to steal information from our chaos enemy here for the Emperor's glory, and you can see this is pretty neat looking, and at any point I can kind of pause the game. It just slows it down quite a bit so that I can focus on giving certain commands or things like that. So right now these guys are kind of focusing down this guy, and we're sending our bigger ships after the information we need to get. There are all different types of missions in the game. Right now we're doing data recoveries where we're trying to board this ship, so on and so forth. There is a full single-player campaign that's basically missions thrown together with some story missions. And then there is also the multiplayer where you can bring fleets against other players in kind of random battles of different types. And then here, let's boost our guys a little bit here. And then you can also do the same against the AI. So we're going to charge our guys in a little bit more here and eventually try to get the data from this guy. But like I said, there are all different kinds of missions you can play against the computer or against other players or in a campaign. And overall, it's a game that I like quite a bit. It is also a $40 game. It has pretty solid reviews overall, and from what I understand, captures the theme of what you know, Warhammer and these sort of ships are going for. And are we flying right into that? Whatever. So once we get into range here, we'll want to try to steal this guy's information. Let's see here. Alright, so sweet. So let's get you back out of here. Have you kind of block him if at all possible, and then we'll unlock it. So overall, this is the one game that I have actually played, and it is certainly a game. Are you? I guess you'll go that way. Why not? And it is certainly a game that I've enjoyed quite a bit. And just to show you real quick here, because yeah, I was not doing a very good job of talking and playing the game, so we managed to get the data and we managed to go into the warp. Hopefully things will go well in the warp, and we'll see what happens next. Alright, so let's move on to our next game, a game that is not quite out yet but will be out soon, Total War Warhammer. Now, Total War Warhammer is going to be the first game so far that we've talked about that's going to be a sort of full-price game, and as you can see, it's available on May 24th, and you can pre-order it now, and if you do, you'll get the Chaos faction as well to be able to play. Now, that's something that's caused a little bit of controversy because Chaos is so pivotal to the universe. A lot of people think it should have been included, but if you get it as a pre-order, and then there's some confusion, but my understanding is if you buy it within the first week of release, you will also get that. So, Total War is a series of games that already exist, you may or may not have heard of, and they're kind of a big-scale, real-time combat games where you bring in a bunch of units on each side. These units they're hero units, they have specialties and things like that. You can activate abilities, but the goal is, in general, total war. And then not only do you have these real-time combats that take place with all these different units that you can use to flank and do all different kinds of things, but you also have like an overworld that you're trying to control and deciding what areas to go after, where to defend. So you have kind of a large scale of your kingdom overall, and then the individual battles that happen as you go on, and leaders you want to level up, and so on and so forth. So there are different factions that you'll play against, and I'm not sure how many factions are available to play as with the base game. Obviously you'll be able to download more, and like I said, you'll be able to get the Chaos for pre-ordering. But as you can see, we're kind of scanning around, seeing a bunch of the different armies that are available here, and then I believe if we fast forward a little bit, yeah, we're seeing some of the enemy here, and then getting into the actual battle itself as marching in, and as we go in closer, we'll see the actual units colliding, and you can see units in the back commanding and so on and so forth, and you can bring your hero units in to attack and use their powerful special abilities and so on and so forth. You can zoom in, zoom out, do a lot of interesting things. I haven't really played much of the Total War franchise, but this is one that definitely has me interested. I think this theme, while the Total Wars before have in general been kind of historically themed combat games, I really think Warhammer is an interesting way of doing the game, and hopefully this game will be pretty solid and it will be coming out soon. So the last game I'm going to mention is Dawn of War 3. I'm going to mention this game even though I don't know much about it. I don't know much about the Dawn of War series. If you are familiar with these games, then this is maybe something you've already heard about and pretty excited about. My understanding is a real-time combat game, but that is my understanding. Like I said, I know very little about it, but I do know a lot of Warhammer fans who are excited about a third one of these games coming out, and in particular really enjoyed this trailer. There's some people nitpicking little things, thinking the Space Marine's legs are too skinny or whatnot, but overall it is a game that, my understanding, most people are pretty intrigued by the trailer. The trailer doesn't really show you gameplay yet, not really sure when the game is going to be out, but basically it's something else to be excited about. And kind of what I wanted to get at is, even though I'm not a Warhammer fan, I know a little bit about it. I hang out in a comic book shop a lot where people play Warhammer, and well, it is something that has had some mixed things when it comes to video gaming. And I've been getting more and more into the world after playing a lot of Battlefleet Gothic, and I'm really considering getting Total War Warhammer, and it seems like there's a lot of good video gaming content coming out for the Warhammer universe. So if you are a fan of Warhammer, you've been disappointed with the video games that have come out for it, you have a lot of interesting stuff that's come out recently or is coming out soon that hopefully you will enjoy. So I thought, if you don't follow video games that closely but you enjoy the Warhammer universe, you might enjoy a video talking about some of these games, letting you know what's out and what is coming out soon, and hopefully there's something here that catches your eye and excites you. If you want to check out the channel, it's JB's Total Gaming. Like I said, we talk about board games a lot, video games, card games, and a little bit of table talk. I've talked a little bit about Armada, which X-Wing and Armada are two of the tabletop games I play, and who knows, maybe someday if I keep playing these Warhammer video games getting into the universe, I'll be playing that soon too. So thanks a lot for watching, and we'll talk to you again soon.